Welcome. Last episode, before I went down to do down down to Starfleet Academy to do Duffin, we picked up a ship called the USS Canton, which is the prototype exploration cruiser, or the Walker class. However, with all this stuff, we need to gear this up better. Now, I'm going to quickly cover the STO Academy Skill Planner, which is at skillplanner.stoacademy.com. Now, currently, I'm showing this currently has ships show as almost all ships in the game. As you can see here, this is a tier 2 cruiser from which was talked about in the last episode, and you can pick anything. So if I want to pick a Beamer Mac for any mod, and we can pick up any type of Beamer, and you can put everything on here. Build up your ideal version of your ship. For example, there's a relay, which that's not the exact one you would use, but you can build the ideal version of your ship as much as you want. But to help out, as you can see here, you can even show people what you can do for your build, and you can this is a copy of what you see in game under your skills, and all this works the same way as you normally would, and of course you can even pick as many things as you want. Right, so let's get back to the bridge officers. Now, if I was to pick not the standard cruiser like this, I would build this as my loadout. I'll explain. This is my standard cruiser for level tier 2. Right, so I would have changed Surveyors or Flores or Tarsis ability to beam fire at will 1. This will allow you to hit more enemies at once, and will be able to help you with the stray torpedoes. Counter the amount of weapon drain, I would actually put immensely powered weapons two here into the Lieutenant Engineering, as that will keep your weapons power really high, reasonably high for about 30 seconds after you clicked it. However, after 30 seconds after you click it, power would actually drop down. The power would go back down to normal. And also, because in theory I could put 2 immensely powered weapons here, and I click one and the other one, and it would be basically fire them both off at the same time. However, I've chosen to pick immensely powered shields to basically give your ship a lot more defense for the fights as well. So, and I've picked Engineering Team 1 and Science Team for these 2 slots. Engineering Team will repair hull, which is your only hull heal for tactical captains and science captains, while this science team will be your secondary, is an instant heal for your shields, and this one's probably the only one which you could leave with back up with Tachyon Beam. This is actually all the science abilities you can pick for at this level. However, I will point out something like Suspicious Vortex is not available for brand new players at level 1 due to it being a mission reward, and not everything will be available immediately to all players. As I said, your science officer when you start the game will come with Taking Beam 1. I should put back, since I'm playing using the prototype Walker, prototype exploration class, I've just used the standard phasers and torpedo on my ship. You'll see, I've changed that up around a lot. We'll be changing that a lot in the future. Due to the fact the prototype Walker is a scaling ship, the commander slots, lieutenant commander and commander slots do not work until I'm at level 30 and level 40 for these two slots, for the second two slots. However, this is the loadout I've got for the level between level 10 and level 20. Sorry, hang on. Right, as I've picked emergency power to weapons 2 to boost my weapons, since I have a lot more weapons than a cruiser would normally have than a tier 2 cruiser would have, because a tier 2 cruiser would only have up to 4 weapons, but this ship has up to 7 weapons, and they could all be energy weapons, but I have 3 energy weapons in front and 2 in the back. So I need to keep my weapon energy up high, so I'm using emergency power to weapons. As for I've also used emergency power shields to keep my shields up and prevent damage to my hull. However, this is more of how I build my ships in the late game as well, so here we go. So that is it. My tactical officer, I've given Beam Fire at Will 2. Beam Fire at Will hit as many targets as you can get in that you can see your beam fire rays can see. However, Beam Fire at Will has a problem, is that it is inaccurate at lower ranks and gets accurate up to at Beam Fire is as accurate as your beams normally are at Beam Fire at Will 3. So Beam Fire at Will 2 is a nice compromise and gives my ship good weapon, keep damage. Tac Team 1 here because it's a standard, what I call a standard use build, and will be very useful to keep my shields, because it clears some of the debuffs that enemies will give and prevent one shield facing from depleting all the way, whilst full shield faces on all all the other 3 sides. Meanwhile, my lieutenant engineering, I've kept the engineering team from my standard build, and I've used Direct Energy Modulation 1. This is more of a useful ability to prevent me from losing losing damage. This ability to help me keep my ship alive for longer, because this build is more designed to do damage and survive than do damage and generate aggro, but Beaver will usually generate aggro. As for science, I've gone with my usual standbys of Science Team 1 and Hazard Emitters 2. Hazard Emitters is somewhat of a nice ability, is that it can clear most hull heals as well as Engineering Team can, but offers a heal over time ability, which is very useful. Colin Fletcher, Evelyn Severe, Ian Crone and Tamav all have the exact same abilities on ground and space for every player. And this, believe it or not, is actually a decent start. Because for me, we can start with Caroline. I would start with Caroline Fletcher because I need fire at will and tactical team for this team. In Chrome, I will need to change this around, but I also now need to I need second engineer. So we recently got out of two bridge officer requisitions, so we'll be taking this out. So that's we'll be taking, because these will be somewhat these are random items, so we can, because this android female is not particularly brilliant in space, but given the space abilities, but so I'll be taking this body female, not male. I mean, I thought it was a female. So, what does Mr. Wet give? He's got actually a decent starting abilities. Currently, as we're Lieutenant Commander, we can only use Lieutenant and Lieutenant and Ensign powers, which are basically the first two powers. So everyone but besides Tamav will have the powers useful we need. Since Tamav's going to be it's got body party and jet warp plasma will not work at the moment. We'll be leaving this out. So we'll be basically doing a buying spree. Oops. Right. Because these are all somewhat costly, and I'll be just buying for somewhat costly for new players. We'll be buying for exactly what we need. So for tactical space, we'll be buying one tactical team with 250 energy credits. Because I'm happy with because I would have already picked Engineering Team 1. I would normally, that'd be another 150 energy credits. But we'll be also picking Hazard Emitters 1 and Science Team 2. So far my chopper list has been quite nicely for it's 2,500 ET. Not bad. But the problem becomes because we've been smart with this, and I know what build I'm doing already before I've even got started. But now that we've got all these manuals in this book down here, we need to use them. So we'll start with Caroline Fletcher. We'll select the skills and we find that there's a learn button here. We can click here and it costs us 400 to consume this training manual. 400 expertise. This expertise is limited because you can only earn so much per level. Actually, it's basically based on your experience points. You can, in theory, buy them all these abilities at any time, and learn, but you are limited to how many you can use, how much you can use, and the cost does go up. So, Tactical Team 1. So select it over here, on here, bump. That's now my primary setup done. We all got to Inkwell, and we teach him hazard emitters, and then we can't teach him anything because he needs to be promoted. Yes, everyone needs to be promoted to learn anything higher. So for example, if I want to teach Inkwell Gravity 12.3 later on, which I'd suggest you do, you need to hit promote. And because I am Lieutenant Commander, I cannot promote Inkwell to you pick up any higher until I reach level 20. But teaching him Science Team 2 has been useful. After you need to go up and get to all the calculations of what I've spent and how I spent it. I'm going to ignore this body party and eject wet plasma, which I particularly don't like, and move on to about to take her out. Before I do, I need to get a few things from myself and my characters. Now here we are at Ensign Lesser. You may have she's not far from the exchange. She will have kit modules. For me, I've got basically Sonic Pulse 1, Stasis Field Sonic Pulse, Stasis Field, Tactical and Harmonic, Hyperspray Javelin, a Medical Tricorder, and Hyperspray Elrazine. And that is basically it. But I would love to have exothermic induction field, but sadly I do not have that bit. We do not have that ability, so we have to pick and choose what we use. So we'll be, but we has someone experienced for getting stuff on events. We before we do that, we do need to pick up a kit module. Kit itself. Kit frame. At this moment, we'll be buying a cheap back free one to just give me a slight increase in shields in health. But to give myself some kit modules, I'll be grabbing from the stores. And yes, this is going to involve me to nicking some weird ones. So I'm going to pick up a crystal prism which comes from the planet Pavo. Nice. We have Bodman hyper input sensors, which will make me a lot easier to fly faster in this game. And as mentioned last time, there was a experimental weapon. This our experimental hyper excited Ion Stream Projector Mark 10 is one of the ones you can collect. As you can see, I can pick up many other things. However, that is not the only thing I can pick up. Because I've done events in the past, I'll be grabbing some more unique consoles, such as this one, which is nice. We will pick up a Sunpet Lightning module. I find that one particularly shocking, by the way, incidentally. The Prolonged Engagement Dynamo, which I've used in endgame materials as well, and all these weekend event consoles will be available to new players on demand, assuming you are around for that event, for this one event, to get one of them. Yes, I'll be if anyone asks, yes, I'm going to be picking and choosing these lots a lot easier. But don't worry, you do not need to have these skills, but they just make my job a lot easier to get through it. I maybe should pick up something. Now, and incidentally, I will just about give you the first kit. Is the Sunpec with this first appearance to a set, and this is the earliest time I've ever collected a set. This is actually one of my useful items, but any item I don't have, other members of my crew will be picking them up, so don't worry.